to register to vote.
They ought to call it the Daytona 3 because it was the final 3 laps of the Daytona 500 that was just riveting. 10 drivers all looking for their first trophy. Diced it out in the final few accident-filled laps. Kevin Harvick edges out Mark Martin by a car hood. Closest race in history as 7 cars now flipped, and of course just made it an insurance adjuster's nightmare afterwards. It was a 500 victory for Harvick's racing team, which last visited the Daytona 500 victory circle with 7-time series champ Dale Earnhardt back in 1998. And while Kevin Harvick won Sunday's Daytona 500, it has been 6 years since he took over Dale Earnhardt's spot in the Cup Series. Lots of time has passed, but as Tampa Bay's 10's Eric Burks finds, the man in black is still very prominent among stock car racing fans.
Good morning, Mario and Ginger. Well, the stands here at Daytona Speedway are empty now, but earlier today they were packed with hundreds of thousands of fans wearing the colors of every driver in the field and one who wasn't.
Dale Earnhardt gets tracks. Dale Earnhardt behind, halfway down the back straightaway. Dale Earnhardt's up from third on. Dale Earnhardt gets tracks.
It was right here, turn 4 at Daytona Speedway, that Dale Earnhardt Sr. lost his life on the final lap of the Daytona 500 6 years ago. But to look out at the massive grandstands here or the thousands of campers out in the infield, it's almost as if that day never happened.
I still think of him as this being his track. You know, still buys merchandise, you see it everywhere. You see Dale Earnhardt everywhere.
Fans, and lots of them, line up to buy Earnhardt souvenirs of every kind. And by Earnhardt's statue, people patiently wait to take their picture with a larger-than-life figure. In a sport that caters to its fans, many felt like they had lost a family member with Earnhardt's death.
When you follow somebody like this year in and year out since, you know, you were little, he becomes a part of your family. He becomes more than a TV icon. And to lose Dale is still, it's just devastating.
Just to be here for this 6th anniversary of what happened to him, I don't know how I'll be later. I may not make the day.
Earnhardt's legacy lives on not only in the memories of his fans, but also in his charitable foundation.
Dale has just become a true American icon. I mean, he really, truly is the working man's hero. And I think people realize that, you know, no one ever really gave him anything. He had to work his way up. Nothing was handed to him on a silver platter. And the fans can relate to that.
Fans who insist that while Dale may be gone, he'll never be forgotten. Of course, Earnhardt's death coincided with the rise of his son, Dale Earnhardt Jr., to the top of NASCAR's highest circuit. And while every driver in the field has their fair share of fans out here, it seems like the red number 8 has taken right over where the black number 3 left off. At Daytona International Speedway, I'm Eric Burks, Tampa Bay's 10 Sports. Now back to you in that warm studio.
That's for sure. And of course, that was Eric Burks with photojournalist John Deal out there yesterday. And it really was a fabulous race up till the very end.
Yeah, it was, except for Mark Martin, because he's such a nice guy, and everybody on the circuit really wanted to see him capture it once they realized he was in the lead.
Yeah, you thought he was going to win, but if you turned away or walked out of the room, you learned differently when you came back.
And it was interesting, Kevin Harvick after the race said, no one wants to be the guy that beats Mark Martin today. Obviously, he was the one, and he said, obviously, you know, he'll take the victory no matter what, but tough times there for Mark.
I know, but still, the winner of this race, life changed forever now.
Yeah. Dale Earnhardt, nice piece there by Eric Burks and our photojournalist John Deal, who put in a long night overnight, but I still remember exactly where I was when I found out that Dale Earnhardt passed away at the race. I'm just because I saw the news. Are you kidding
almost
me?
Couldn't believe.
Because he was such a great driver and a legend, and he was almost like a driver that you thought was immortal, like the Iron Man, and you're just saying, this is not happening today. So.
Well, they didn't call him the Intimidator for nothing.
No, that's definitely the case.
All right, here's Anna.
We've got a beautiful day in store for us today. Temperatures are still